Perfect slices. It's Sunday, and typically on Sundays I like to meal prep, and I am officially back on a program. My coach Ariel set me a program about, I'll say, a good week and a half ago. And happy Thanksgiving to everyone. It was obviously like a few weeks ago, but it's crazy how it's already December and the year kind of just flew by. And I'm hoping everyone is setting goals and working towards them. But right now I'm making chicken right now to prep for the week. But yeah, it is a lot of chicken, so I try to cook it in bulk. And what I do is I put the oven on a broil high, and I kind of cook it inside the oven. But right now I'm just cutting it kind of like thinner slice, so that way it cooks a lot easier, because I feel like when it's a thick piece it can tend to take a while to cook. But also it all fits inside of this glass tray where I will be putting it in. Add some seasoning. And when it comes to like cooking your food, don't be afraid to use seasonings. You want to make the food taste good, so that way it's enjoyable and that way you can stick to it. I feel like a lot of people have a misperception when they're dieting. It has to be like plain. Like, not everybody has to eat like they're doing like a peak week, because that's kind of like how it is when you're doing a peak week for a competition. You kind of like cut all the seasonings, you don't use any sweeteners, and that's not always the case if you just want to get in shape. You know what I mean? If you want to get into competition shape, that's a bit different, but right now I'm in the process of trying to grow, so I like to make the food enjoyable. That way I can enjoy it. Have it on broil high. And what I do is I just take aluminum foil, because I'm probably gonna have it in there for like at least an hour. Like, the longer it cooks, the juicier it gets. So that's why I like to keep it in there for long, but it's also like a big amount, so that way I want to make sure it's fully cooked, so you don't get sick. Got the pugs camping out, but it's ready. Sure, that is done. Now I'm about to eat my breakfast, and typically my first meal will be 2 whole eggs with egg whites and oatmeal, but I don't have any egg whites, so I definitely got to run to the grocery store to get some. I'm probably gonna have ribeye, and then I'll eat the oatmeal, so it'll be oatmeal and ribeye for my first meal. Ooh, look at that, right on the dot. Right. My first meal of the day, I have 100 grams of oatmeal, and then I'm gonna add, it's gonna be a guess, but I would say this is equivalent to like a cup of blueberries, a little bit more. And then I have 7 ounces of steak. So total macros is 62 grams of protein, 89 grams of carbs, and it says 50 grams of fat because it is a ribeye steak, but I'm not gonna consume, the very fatty part, so I would say it's probably around like 30 grams of fat. I like to have a big feeding. I mean that's what my coach has on my plan so far, a big meal in the beginning. The second meal of my day is probably gonna be my pre-training meal, which I'm probably gonna have chicken and rice with macadamia nut oil. But what am I gonna train today? I'm thinking about doing some back. Training some back, but it's not gonna be like a full-on like workout video. I kind of want to show you guys more of the meals. So I'll show you guys maybe some of my top sets today, and maybe give you guys some tips on like, how I can approach the lift, or what are some techniques I like to use, or how I think before I go into a set. But I am pretty hungry, so let me consume this first meal. My weight is currently at, 209.2. It's not bad. I feel comfortable at this weight though. I feel like when I was at 212 earlier, for some reason I just felt very sluggish. But right now at 209, I felt good. I was pretty surprised. I weigh 209, but I have been eating a lot more. You guys will see how much food I've been eating like the last week and a half, and it's definitely a lot more compared to what I was eating before, because now I'm weighing everything to a T, and I'm making sure I'm consuming food every 2-3 hours. So literally after I eat this meal in an hour, I would start to get hungry right away, and it's a indication for me to know that I got to get that feeding in. And the thing is, like, I could prolong it and not get that meal, and then I'll almost like lose my appetite in a sense. But the goal is to constantly get those feedings in every 2 or 3 hours. So then, like, when you wake up in the morning, you're just starved for a meal. And then, yeah, that's pretty much where my body is right now. I feel like it's pretty primed, and I'm gonna dig into this meal. The bulk is becoming real right now, but you know, ultimately the goal for me is to have this as like my maintenance diet. Like if I can eat this amount of food and lose weight or just maintain, then I would say that I'm in a good spot. But obviously it takes a certain amount of time for me to prime my body, because I think once I get accustomed to this amount of food, my metabolism will be adjusted to it, and then I could be able to consume even more food. But it's a pretty decent amount of food, and it's comfortable for me. Can never have too much salt. Just kidding. Just in moderation. But you see this big fatty piece right here? I'm not gonna consume that. I'm just gonna have like just a steak. Alright, I'm gonna make my next meal. So I just made chicken in right. 242. It's at like a little 250. It's at 6 ounces. You can literally like slice right through the chicken, see? I got mac oil. I do about, let's see, 15 grams. 15 milliliters actually. So this is meal number 2. This is gonna be my pre-training meal. On this is 70 grams of carbs, 16 grams of fat, and about 45.8 grams of protein. This is meal number 2. Calories is 627. I was literally kind of hungry, probably like 40 minutes after that last meal, and I think my metabolism is just picking up. So just getting these feedings in and making sure I'm getting, you know, the necessary food needed, and then we're gonna hit the gym in a bit. All right, guys, best part of the day, free time. So I don't really take any caffeine until like my workout, and I am at a workout right now. So I'm debating if I should do 1 or 2 scoops of pre, but let's see. Start off with a nice cup of water. I have the Mango Peach Gorilla Mode pre-workout here, and I'm probably gonna do 1.5 scoops just because I really want to train pretty intense right now. Oh, first taste of caffeine all day long. I don't really drink that much diet soda right now either, and like some diet sodas have caffeine, and I kind of just, like I said, pull back from caffeine as a whole. When I'm on prep, I consume up to like 500 to 600 mgs some days. Obviously, I build up to that tolerance, but right now, this is probably gonna be all the caffeine I have for the day. So it's around like 250, like almost like half of that. But yeah, it tastes really good. We're gonna head to the gym, train some back, give you guys a physique update, and then show you guys what I eat after the gym. Trying to jump into the first working set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I did more than 10 reps. I just felt like I had more in the tank, so I kind of wanted to just push all the way through. But I'll probably do like 1 more set and go a little bit heavier. But damn, that shit felt heavy. Not heavy, but just when I push for more reps like that, I feel more fatigued. I'm not gonna really count reps. I'm just gonna go probably like 15 to 20 for each arm, because I think the weight is challenging enough, but I just want to make sure I'm getting a lot of reps in.
and I might do another. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do one more set after this and go a little bit heavier. But my goal right now, like I said, higher reps and just focus on squeezing. When I'm doing this, I want to pull to my like lower, like kind of like my hips in a way, so that way I'm really getting the best contraction. Ooh. I think I got 15. I'm trying to do 15 on the other side. One, two, three, four, 6, 8, 9. Good stretch, good stretch. All right, exercise number 3, I'm gonna do a seated cable row. I'm gonna use kind of a close parallel grip. Probably do like maybe 1 feeder set just to see where the weight is, and then I'm just gonna jump right into the working, just because I warmed up really well and I feel like I have a decent form when it comes to this. So if you're a beginner and you're still learning how to train, I'll recommend doing more warm-ups or feeder sets. But since I've done this probably over 1,000 times now at this point, I kind of know exactly how to contract. But it's just more so just feeling the weight for that first set to gauge what my working load is. Back feels pumped from that warm-up still. So I think that's why it's so important to get a good warm-up before your actual workout, just because it just makes everything a lot smoother. So probably go like 8 reps just to feel his weight. All right, just gonna jump right into the first working set of this exercise. I'm gonna go for probably like 10 reps, but I might do more based on how I feel. It's very instinctual. That felt pretty good. Probably gonna go a little bit heavier and just do one more set. So that was just like 200. I'm probably gonna jump to 240, which is like 1 away from a full stack. But I think 240 would be a good range. I'm gonna go for 8 to 10. Rest for like 2-3 minutes, and then I'm gonna jump right into it. My back is toasted. Pretty much done with the back workout. I mean, I could do more, but I just think it's just excessive. Just because my body feels kind of like fatigued at this point of the workout, so I'd rather just, call the workout and then let my body recover, and then just jump into another back workout rather than just like forcing, you know, exercise, because I went pretty intense those other sets. But maybe we can find a spot so I can show you guys like a physique update. All right guys, physique update. All right, the back pump is pretty full. Ooh, the lats feel full. Ooh. All right, let's go get some food in. That's a quick little physique update of where I'm at. This morning I weighed 209, so I definitely feel a lot bigger, and my pumps are pretty full. But yeah, I'm definitely consuming a good amount of food now. That was a good back workout. Typically on a back day like that too, you could throw in some rear delts at the end of it. My back was just so fatigued. It's almost like whenever you train biceps, I feel like you just need a good, solid few sets. And then once you get to a point where your biceps are so full and pumped, it gets kind of hard to even contract your biceps. And that's how it feels with like my back. Yeah, but overall solid workout. I'm gonna show you guys what I eat for my post-workout meal number 3. I'll break down the macros for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that workout. I mean, I kind of just walked through it, but back to the apartment. All right guys, post-workout meal. I have 2 scoops of protein powder. Let me actually pour the water in first because it just mixes better. So I'll put about like 10 ounces of water. I'm gonna get 2 scoops of protein. I use Gorilla Mind today. I like the strawberry flavor. This will be my protein source. And then, let's see. Oh, where's Sonny at? There we go. Then I have a bagel from Costco. And then I just kind of put about 1 tablespoon of honey on it. So I kind of just drizzle a fair amount. And that's it. Post-workout meal is ready to go. 1 bagel, 2 scoops of protein powder. And the macros on this is 76 grams or 77 grams of carbs, 5 grams of fat, and 61 grams of protein. 591 total calories. I have 2 more meals before I go to bed. So once I consume this meal, I'm already ready for the next meal within the next hour. So I'm gonna enjoy this, and then I'll probably take a shower, work with some clients, and I'll check in with you guys with my next feeding. It's gonna be very simple and basic, but gets the job done. As you guys can see, I felt really full in the gym today, and I felt really good. And yeah, full day of eating. Meal number 4 is about to go down. It's very simple and basic. I just have chicken and rice and the macadamia nut oil. Same thing as meal number 2. 16 grams of fat, 70 grams of carbs, and 46 grams of protein. You know, total 627 calories. I don't know if you can see, but it's the same thing. Pretty simple. I digest it really fast, and I just have 1 more feeding before I get to bed. And my body's just pretty much accustomed to the food at this point. I like to use different kind of sauces. I like to use either, you know, sriracha, ketchup,
You don't want to have your food to be so plain all the time. You know, you want to make it fun and enjoyable, as long as it's within the calorie range or the macros that you need. That's, you know, ideal. But anything to make the food tasty is, you know, essential, and I recommend, you know, adding salt, season your food. Dieting is simple, but it's just the thing you have to really keep in mind is just staying consistent with it if you really want to see the results that you want. The more consistent you can be, the better the outcome it is. So whatever diet that you can stick to long term is the most essential diet for you. Don't go on, you know, some extremely bland, you know, plain diet just for the sake of the idea of trying to be extreme, because I don't think it's optimal at all, especially if you can't, you know, stick to the diet long term. But I'm gonna chow down this meal and I'll show you guys the next one in a bit. Your boy is tired. He's hanging over dear life. But right now, I'm cooking up a nice piece of steak. Last meal of the night. And yes, I do have my iPhone flash on just so I can show you guys the steak I made. Last meal of the night, I have 250 grams of white rice again, and I have 8 ounces of ribeye steak. Typically, I would just do, you know, top sirloin steak or ground beef, but I just wanted, you know, ribeye, so I decided to just have ribeye, and it's a bit fatty, not gonna lie. Macros on this: 70 grams of carbs, 50 grams of fat, and 61 grams of protein. 985 calories. That's gonna be all the meals that I'll be consuming today. 3,656 calories, and the macros are 375 grams of carbs, 119 grams of fat, and 276 grams of protein. I think it's a pretty good ratio that I have here. I'm not sure if you're able to see that. We'll dig into this nice, delicious, fatty meal. Last meal of the night. I hope you guys enjoyed this full day of eating video. I plan on doing a lot more of these and trying to mix it up and show you guys how I cook my food and how I like to, you know, enjoy different kinds of food. I know this one's kind of simple because I had 2 of the same exact meals, but I like to have that chicken and rice meal because it's one of those meals where I feel like I burn through it so fast, but it's very high in terms of the volume. You know, it takes me a while to eat it, but once I finish it, I'm like, okay, like I got it down. You get what I mean? And I feel once I get those down so consistently, it just becomes easier and easier. But then again, you know, it comes down to how hard I'm training in the gym and my activity levels. Like right now, I'm probably doing cardio 4 times a week, just 15 minutes. Sometimes I might do a little bit more. Sometimes I just skip it completely. I kind of go based on how I feel, and you know, my appetite goes up when I do cardio, so I kind of do it for that sake. But if I can't get the cardio in, I try to, you know, walk my dogs and get more steps in somehow, some way. Always at the grocery store, you know, at least 3 times a week, just because I like to have everything fresh. I might as well show you guys. I have this scar here now. I pretty much had like scar tissue built up, and it was just like really knotted up and didn't look too well, so I got that taken care of. And then Thanksgiving was just last month, so got to go home and visit family, and that was a great time. You know, celebrated my birthday. Christmas is coming up, but I'm very committed to stay on a program just so I can focus on my goals with, you know, competing next year. My body feels really primed right now, and you know, as you saw in the gym, I was very full with my pump, and my workouts, it's been a bit lower volume. You know, I'm not training and doing extreme amount of supersets. I kind of do that in the beginning just to kind of warm up my body for the workout, but I try to nail 2 top sets, and I'll throw in some feeders leading up to those top sets based on how I feel. Everything's kind of instinct in a sense. I kind of just know how my body works at this point, and just focusing on more low volume, training really heavy, and I'm taking a lot more rest days, which I feel like is very essential because you know, in my early 20s, I was always going, you know, day after day doing double weight training sessions and literally doing that on prep. As I got closer, you know, pulling back calories, I was still trying to push double weight training sessions, double cardio sessions, and just pushing my body to the max. And I feel like, you know, it could have been detrimental. You know, my coach obviously didn't like me doing that, but for me, I just always felt the need to do more and more and more. And sometimes, you know, when you're doing more and more and more, it could kind of affect you negatively. This coming year, you know, I plan on sticking to the programs that my coach assigned to me, especially on prep, to follow everything to the T and put it all in his hands. And you know, I'm just gonna execute, and I'm very excited to showcase what I can bring this next coming year. You know, I hope everybody is setting goals, and you know, you might be in a rut and it might be difficult at times, but just keep pushing through. Just keep showing up, even though, you know, there may be some days that you might not be as motivated. Just show up to the gym, you know what I mean? Even if you work out for like 20 minutes, do some cardio afterwards, you know, do something to just get your body moving, and you know, you can only build upon that. But that's gonna wrap up this video. Hope you guys enjoy it. Full day of eating. I plan on doing a lot more and just showing you guys more of my training methods and how I train. But yeah, catch you guys in the next video. Appreciate you guys.